and welcome to Gradiant's podcast.
We have Gradiant's VP of Process and Applications Engineering, Hiep, with us today. Hiep has over 23 years of experience in water treatment and is one of the leading experts on desalination and reverse osmosis in the Australia region. Before Gradient, he was the Chief Technology Officer of Osmoflow, a global desalination company that has presence across Australia, the Middle East, Asia, and India. Today, he is based out of Adelaide, Australia, and formerly had his degree in chemical engineering from the University of Adelaide. He'll be discussing his role at Gradient and expanding upon his knowledge regarding water treatment. Hi, Hiep, and welcome.
Good day, Meg. Thanks and great to be doing a podcast.
Yeah, and it's great to have you here with us. And I expect our listeners are excited to learn about Gradient's process and applications when it comes to treating our customers' water needs. So let me just dive right in. Could you give us some background first on yourself, how you got into the water treatment industry, and how you came to be the VP of Process and Applications Engineering for Gradient?
Yes, growing up, I loved the world of chemistry. I also enjoyed putting together computers. So chemical engineering became the natural choice when it came to what to study in university. Through my journey as a refugee in the 80s, I developed a fear of deep water. So growing up and did not consider the water industry after graduating from chemical engineering. Funnily, how life happens, I actually got the first professional job in a local water treatment company in Adelaide here, Australia. And as a first project, I spent 7 months in a remote area of Indonesia, an island called South Sulawesi. And my role was to complete the construction and commissioning of a 200 cubic meters per hour potable water treatment plant and a 10 cubic meter per hour dimin water treatment plant for a power station. Fortunately, in this project, the end customer was Australian, so I got to develop relationships with some of the customers' representative. And that helped me in this role as an experienced engineer. At that time, they commented that I looked like still a cool school kid, turning up on a construction site. So that was quite a good way, I suppose, to engage with the customer. That it looks like you're young, but you can actually demonstrate that you can complete the job. So that was good. I think from that moment on, being able to engage with customers, EPCs and consultants and operators, I learned quite rapidly on the job. So from these range of people on site as well as in the office, including the mentors I had, the tradesmen, operators I come across on site, and other engineers through the whole design process, commissioning, and construction sort of part of the project. That allows me to have good understanding and good experience in the project lifecycle of water treatment plants, from tendering, design, project execution through the commissioning and operation and maintenance. In terms of moving on to Gradient, I recall having a tour of Gradient's facility in Woburn with Prakash, one of the co-founder of Gradient, in 2005. So early days of Gradient, still very much a young startup. And at that time, we were discussing technologies like CGE and others that was in development to see whether we can work together. Over the years, I've sort of kept in touch with Prakash, particularly at conferences. And in 2018, at an IDA conference, I met up with Gradient representative, one of the guys, Sada, the VP of Business Development, mentioned Gradient was looking for someone to lead the process engineering team to help grow the business. So after thoughtful consideration and 12 years at Osmoflow, I took the plunge to take on that opportunity, and because I believe that I could add value based on my experience, and also as a bonus, hopefully, we can have an adventure in Singapore in the future.
Great, yeah, that's awesome. So what does your role entail?
Yes, it's quite wide-ranging in terms of the project life cycle. So I lead the process and applications engineering team. So the team collaborates with the other teams, including R&D, or what we call new products initiative team, the sales, project execution, engineering, and field services team, all led by different vice presidents. To develop projects to meet the customer's needs. So the activities of the process and applications team cover the whole project life cycle, like I mentioned, and include from early development of a project that could include bench and pilot testing to confirm the treatment processes where new type of water or wastewater or very challenging applications that we need to confirm for our design. Then we go on prepare proposals to secure these new projects by developing competitive and innovative process designs. And as the project gets executed and then it becomes ready for commissioning, the team also provides optimization and troubleshooting support for the commissioning and operations and maintenance phase of the project. So that's in a nutshell, we cover the whole project life cycle from a process engineering perspective, and it provides a good knowledge management, so good feedback loop from commissioning and operations to how we continuously improve our offering and solutions to the customer.
And to piggyback off that, what strategies do you use when deciding a specific technical solution for these customers? And how do you determine which approach is best? Is it based off of the industry they are in, the type of wastewater being treated, possibly the customer's expectations or financial limitations, or long-term goals, sustainability? Could you expand on that?
Yes, I mentioned customers in each of the previous questions or answers to the questions. And so the customers is quite important in this determining the technical solution. So the first and the most important step for us to decide on a technical solution is to engage the customers, be it the end customer, the EPC, or the consultant, or all of them together, to understand the true needs for both for short and long-term objectives or goals. Often, the needs are not very clearly spelled out in RFQs or the specification. So being able to engage allows us to better understand, what the goals are and what are the pain points of the customers. So that these could include which you've mentioned some of it, water and wastewater qualities and quantities, and particularly important, their variations too through the day, the year or season. Then the operating conditions and requirements, what does the site look like and where do we tie in to the different termination points, be it wastewater discharge or the electrical areas like the power supply and control interface. And you also mentioned financial objectives and limitations. That's definitely important in the way we would select the technical solution. And sometimes, the cheapest solution isn't always the best solution. There's sometimes a balance to get the right solution for the long-term objectives of meeting the lowest cost. Space management and footprint is also quite important on site. If we have only a small area, we have to design a certain way in providing technical solutions, so that could completely change what we offer. And also I mentioned the pain points. So any no-nos from what the customers experienced in the past. So they may have heard from another plant within the wider customer companies, group of companies that they've had experience with this technology and it didn't work for them for some reason. And also in the end, a lot of global companies now have sustainability objectives. So being able to understand that also helps us work out where we could support that sustainability drive for the future. So we take all these inputs and compare with our past experience in similar applications or industries. And we got a number of subject matter experts in different areas, including membranes, chemistry, operations. And when we get together and determine what that concept solution is. So most of my team is able to do this, and we tend to do it in a team to work out the best solution and incorporate everyone's experience. And once we have that concept solution, we can engage further dialogues with the customer to refine that concept solution. So as we present it, the customer may understand where we're going better and provide us feedback to improve on what we can offer for them, so that we can refine the design a bit more and start developing the cost to form the proposal or the technical and commercial solution for the customer. So even after we submit this proposal in response to the request of proposal, we remain engaged with the customer to ensure that their needs were met, or if they've had further thoughts or changes based on feedback from our submission and other competitors' submission, so that we can evolve the solution to continuously meet their needs. And that's the way we work. It's all about the customers. So I say, in real estate, it's location. So in our sort of field of area, we was customer. So we need to directly,
Yeah, I bet the customer really appreciates that, the thoroughness, for sure.
Yeah. I see in some what the projects we do get sort of appreciation on the engagement. Yeah.
That's great. So now I know you helped create Gradiant SmartOps. What exactly is that, and how does it help customers?
Yes, good question. SmartOps is in a nutshell, an asset performance management platform. So that includes SCADA, which is supervisory control and data acquisition system, computer maintenance management system, inventory and consumable management system, quality, safety, environmental management system, and also includes the latest area of development called artificial intelligence and machine learning. So we wrap that up in all one platform. It's like a one-stop shop for plant operations from a customer perspective, rather than different systems that also cost a lot more, as well as different training requirements and less familiarity between the different systems. So we wrapped up into one system to keep it simple. So when I say the one-stop shop, I think of it as like having an experienced smart engineers to monitor and adjust your plant parameters 24/7 to meet your production KPIs, optimize OPEX, detect anomalies, and predict maintenance. So SmartOps, I see, will benefit customers, including Gradiant itself internally, who is also a plant owner and operator. So where the benefits I see there is maximizing plant reliability and availability. Production process relies on that high availability and reliability to consistently produce products. They don't want failures and downtimes unnecessarily. They need to be planned. So in that sense, we want to minimize time and financial resources for managing these plants. In the end, the customer benefits from all the management of the plant in an automated way, so that they don't rely on training operators, to do the advanced performance management work.
Ooh, wow, that sounds awesome. So could you expand on what differentiates Gradient's end-to-end solutions from other water treatment companies specifically with how it compares on costs, the OpEx, the CapEx, the return on investment, sustainability, the environmental impact?
Yes, as a startup, our DNA is to challenge the status quo and determine the most innovative and simplest treatment process. And pair that with a financial solution that meets the customer's short-term and long-term needs. I'll give you an example. We recently secured a project in remote Australia where the customer needed to desalinate groundwater that comes out of the ground at 50 degrees. And they had limited CapEx budget. They also had a existing rental plant from another company that didn't work very well. So when we looked at this, all these inputs and discussed with customer, we ended up offering a solution of direct feed treatment of the groundwater using the temperature tolerance RO membrane. So these are not conventional widely used membrane. We also couple that with simple media filtration as pre-treatment. And then when we looked at the financial area with the limitation, we came up with a lease to buy solution. And so we packaged that all together with the SmartOps interface and platform for operation and maintenance. So all these three factors, what we found in the end, differentiated us from the competitors and resulted in lower life cycle costs for the customer. So the plant design also included higher water recovery than specified in the RFP, which helped the groundwater sustainability by reducing its extraction. The use of direct feed and simple pretreatment also reduced the use of chemicals and wastewater production. And operating the RO at high temperature also had the benefit of reducing its energy consumption. And both of these factors in lower chemical, lower energy, and reducing groundwater extraction has a very positive environmental impact on the site and their production process. So in terms of differentiating in our solution portfolio, one area I like to expand on is the RO Infinity platform. So ROI for short, where we achieve minimal liquid discharge or significantly concentrate valuable minerals. And we do this at a fraction of the CapEx and OpEx of thermal evaporators or brine concentrators. So using our counterflow RO technology, which is a proprietary technology in the ROI design, we're making minimal and zero liquid discharge more affordable for customers. And we think from this, we can enable more customers to achieve circular economy associated with water reuse and producing byproducts from the brine. Using membranes and a lower OpEx, of course, that means lower energy consumption and lower footprint for the CFRO technology compared to the evaporators. This also reduces the environmental impact. And in addition, being a membrane technology, we believe the operation will be significantly simpler than the thermal evaporators, thereby making customers' life much easier in long-term operation and maintenance.
Absolutely. In your opinion, which industries and regions would benefit most from these solutions and why?
Yes, industries that use a lot of water or produce a lot of wastewater, such as the microelectronics, food and beverage, energy, mining, textile, and municipal, I think will benefit from a Gradient solution. In terms of region, the same is also true for, and similarly, where there's water stressed conditions, or there's a drive for water sustainability. So sustainability is really the key here. Is any of the industries and regions that require long-term water sustainability in being able to provide water for drinking, sanitation, and production. I think these are the areas where can benefit from our drive for innovation and continuously develop solutions to meet the growing needs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely for water scarcity. So what water technologies do you see becoming more and more utilized in the future by customers, and why do you think that would be?
Yeah, being a membrane guy from the start, I think membrane technologies will continually to be developed and utilized in the future to improve the energy, chemical, and footprint usage aspects of water and wastewater treatment. I also see electrochemical technologies such as advanced oxidation will be developed and utilized more as well to simplify treatment as well as deal with emerging contaminants such as PFAS or PFOS. But being in a digital age, I think digital technologies also will be more adopted as customer paradigm shifts in security and reliability aspects. So to trust the technologies such as wireless transmission, cloud technologies will also improve the adoption of these digital technologies and also make their life easier in the future. The digital technology, I think one area that could be surprising for us is the 3D printing technologies, so that we could print a plant or component of plant in our factory, and that will improve costs, time, and quality control in the fabrication of the plants for the customers.
Oh, that would be so cool. I love 3D printing.
Yeah.
All right. And lastly, what do you see being the biggest challenge going ahead for customers, industries, societies, and regions when it comes to meeting their water needs? And how does Gradient meet that challenge?
Yes, I think that's related to water sustainability, and we support the UN goal for water sustainability and sanitation. So I think in that sense, water resource depletion, such as from ground and rivers, is an important challenge for us to deal with. The rising cost of water. So as water becomes scarce, it costs more to produce the water. There's another sustainability area is water and soil pollution with current and emerging contaminants. I think that's also important. And having more and more water treatment plant and assets being deployed around the world. I think skills is an important area to develop. So with more plants, there'll be skills shortage. So that allows an opportunity to develop digital technologies like SmartOps to help with that challenge. And also, we still have developing and poor regions around the world, such as Africa, Asia. They lack access to drinking water and wastewater reuse or wastewater sanitation. So I think these are all important challenges for us as an industry to tackle. So being able to see those challenges, we can continuously develop and refine our technical solutions to continuously reduce costs, make it more cost effective, make it more robust and simple to operate. And being in a water scarce or water stress area, such as Australia, I think maximizing water recovery, minimizing waste and residuals, and being able to recover more valuable and reuse valuable resources is one where we are focused on currently and into the future. So couple these technical solutions with our financial solutions, I think we will help reduce the cost of water production and water reuse and recycling, and then be able to provide access to drinking water for more communities. And an important part of that is, like I mentioned, in terms of the skill shortage area, SmartOps will help and have enhanced plant operations and maintenance and reduce skills labor input.
Very well said. All right, that's all the questions I have. So thank you so much for joining us, Hip. Gradient is privileged to have your expertise and know-how to provide our customers with the best possible end-to-end water treatment solutions.
Thanks, Meg, and yeah, glad to answer the questions, and hopefully, yeah, we can together as the water industry help water sustainability.
Absolutely. And thanks everyone for listening to Gradient's podcast.